Topic: The Weight of Choice, Patience, Reflection, and Faith in an Uncertain World, written by Professor Mannix E. Paul, Ph.D., LL.D., Hans. Me Foundation Monthly Lecture, Series 75, July 6, 2026. Perhaps no generation in human history has possessed as much information, as many opportunities, and as many alternatives as ours. Yet paradoxically, never before have so many individuals struggled with uncertainty, anxiety, hesitation, and the burden of making consequential decisions. We live in a world of abundance, but abundance itself has become a source of complexity. Information is plentiful, opportunities are numerous, and possibilities appear endless. Nevertheless, the ability to choose wisely remains one of the greatest challenges confronting modern humanity. At the center of human experience lies the responsibility to choose. Every person is called upon to make decisions that shape careers, relationships, investments, identities, beliefs, and aspirations. Some choices are minor and reversible. Others define the trajectory of an entire lifetime. It is therefore not surprising that many individuals carry silent regrets over decisions made too quickly, too emotionally, or with insufficient understanding. Others are haunted not by poor decisions, but by decisions never made, opportunities abandoned, dreams postponed, and possibilities left unexplored. The reality is that choice is both a privilege and a burden. Freedom to choose is among humanity's greatest gifts, yet it also imposes an enormous responsibility. Every decision excludes alternative paths. Every commitment requires sacrifice. Every affirmation simultaneously becomes a rejection of another possibility. Consequently, the greater the number of available options, the greater the possibility of uncertainty, hesitation, and self-doubt. Contemporary society has amplified this burden. We are constantly exposed to competing voices, expert opinions, social expectations, digital influences, and overwhelming quantities of data. Information travels instantaneously. Advice is abundant. Perspectives are limitless. However, information does not necessarily translate into wisdom. Indeed, one of the defining dilemmas of the 21st century is that people possess more information than previous generations, yet often experience greater difficulty arriving at meaningful decisions. This phenomenon reminds us that knowledge alone is insufficient. Human beings can only decide based upon what they know, what they have experienced, what they believe, and what they perceive to be true. Decisions are constructed from the information available to us at a particular point in time. In essence, one cannot know more than what one has acquired intellectually, emotionally, socially, or spiritually. This understanding is deeply rooted in logical reasoning. Classical philosophy and logic have long maintained that conclusions are only as sound as the premises upon which they are established. If the premise is flawed, incomplete, or inaccurate, then the conclusion itself becomes vulnerable to error. In practical terms, this means that many poor decisions are not necessarily products of bad intentions, but are often consequences of inadequate information, false assumptions, distorted perceptions, or limited understanding. Yet even with access to accurate information, uncertainty remains an inevitable part of life. No individual possesses complete knowledge. No amount of research can eliminate every risk. No forecast can predict every outcome. No analysis can fully account for the complexities of human existence. There are moments when information reaches its limits and wisdom must take over. This is where reflection becomes indispensable. Reflection is the discipline of thoughtful pause. It is the willingness to examine circumstances carefully before acting. Reflection allows individuals to evaluate motives, question assumptions, anticipate consequences, and align decisions with personal values and long-term aspirations. In an age that celebrates speed, reflection has become a neglected virtue. Modern culture rewards immediacy. People are encouraged to respond quickly, decide rapidly, invest immediately, and achieve results instantly. Yet some decisions are too significant to be rushed. Some choices require maturity, context, emotional stability, and the gradual unfolding of circumstances. Not every decision improves with urgency. Many improve with patience. Patience is among the most undervalued qualities in contemporary society. It is often misunderstood as passivity, delay, or indecision. In reality, patience represents intellectual discipline and emotional strength. Patience recognizes that certain truths reveal themselves only through the passage of time. Some relationships require time before genuine character emerges. Some opportunities become clearer only after circumstances evolve. Some ambitions demand seasons of preparation before they can be responsibly pursued. Some decisions cannot be forced because they have their own natural rhythm of maturity. Time, therefore, is not merely a measure of existence, it is a powerful decision-maker. Time exposes what enthusiasm conceals. Time clarifies what confusion obscures. Time tests convictions. Time validates intentions. Time reveals consistency. Time distinguishes temporary emotions from enduring realities. Indeed, many of life's greatest regrets stem not from waiting too long, but from acting too soon. The wisdom of timing is often more valuable than the urgency of action. This is why patience should never be mistaken for weakness. Patience is often the highest expression of wisdom because it permits reality to disclose itself more fully. It provides space for reflection, dialogue, observation, learning, and personal growth. There are decisions that cannot be solved solely through analysis. There are moments when data is abundant, yet clarity remains elusive. At such moments, intuition becomes important. Intuition is not irrationality. Rather, it is the subtle integration of accumulated experiences, subconscious learning, personal values, and emotional intelligence. It is often the quiet voice that emerges after years of observation and reflection. Many accomplished leaders, scholars, innovators, and entrepreneurs have acknowledged that some of their most transformative decisions were informed not merely by statistics or projections, but by informed intuition. Intuition does not replace evidence. It complements evidence. It allows human beings to perceive patterns beyond immediate calculations. Closely associated with intuition is faith. Faith occupies a unique place in human decision-making because it addresses dimensions of life that logic alone cannot fully explain. Faith is not the abandonment of reason. Faith is the courage to proceed when certainty is unattainable. Faith enables individuals to act despite ambiguity. It empowers people to embrace possibilities that have not yet materialized. It sustains perseverance during periods of uncertainty. Many of humanity's greatest achievements were born from decisions made in environments where complete certainty did not exist. Great discoveries, entrepreneurial ventures, social reforms, scientific breakthroughs, and personal transformations often began with individuals willing to trust possibilities beyond immediate evidence. Faith reminds us that uncertainty is not necessarily an obstacle. It can also become a pathway to growth. Ultimately, the burden of choice is inseparable from the human condition. To choose is to exercise freedom. To choose wisely is to cultivate wisdom. To choose patiently is to acknowledge the value of time. To choose reflectively is to honor experience. To choose with faith is to recognize that human understanding has limits, but human potential remains boundless. Perhaps the greatest lesson decision-making teaches us is that life is rarely about possessing perfect certainty. Rather, it is about developing the capacity to make thoughtful decisions amid uncertainty, guided by knowledge, enriched by reflection, tempered by patience, informed by intuition, and sustained by faith. For while information may inform our decisions, it is often patience that refines them, reflection that strengthens them, intuition that guides them, and faith that gives us the courage to live with their consequences. In the end, wisdom is not simply knowing what to choose. Wisdom is knowing when to choose, why to choose, and when waiting itself may be the wisest decision of all. Always remember that in an age overwhelmed by information and endless alternatives, the greatest human advantage may not be knowledge alone, but the wisdom to wait, reflect, and trust the unfolding of time. Courtesy of Me Foundation, committed to human capacity building worldwide. Just a voice of reasoning in a complex dispensation. Thank you for listening, and kindly share to inspire others.